Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia Nailcraft. So today is time for Dawn and Julia Create. This time I have only had a cup of tea and a donut, so you know I can't blame 2 glasses of wine for a dodgy video. So this is Dawn's challenge, and I have to apologise to Dawn because she set this challenge ages ago and I didn't do it at the time because I wasn't feeling well, and Dawn did the 1 layered that turned into 3 layers of card. And then when we should have been doing it, I asked if we could do something with GMC stuff because I was trying to prep for a show. So poor Dawn's had hers ready for probably months, and this is me just getting round to doing it now. So both Dawn and I had these kits, the flamingo ones from the works, and we've both done quite a lot with them, and there's been quite a few Dawn and Julia Creates with them as well actually. So Dawn set the challenge of using the leftover bits, using what we've got to make a junk journal. Now I had about 3 kits and they've all ended up in the one bundle, so I've got quite a bit here, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get it all in one journal. If I don't, will Dawn put me on the naughty step? No doubt. No doubt. Would you like to see us do a naughty step challenge? You know, if one of us is naughty, do we have to make an extra video for you where we get given a naughty challenge? Let us know in the comments below. So right now I'm just sort of sorting out between papers and die cut bits, and I'm sort of putting the cutouts because those can sort of be extra bits and pockets and whatnots later. I will try and use as much of it as I can, but we will see how we go. Right, so what I may do is I will just finish sorting this out off camera. So I have these separated. I'm going to choose a few just to fold directly in half, and then we can see how we go. A lot of the designs work that way, so which is a bit different. Right, I'm just going to fold some in half and then we'll work out what we're doing from there. I quite like to have different, more interesting things going on. I probably should get my bowl. Okay, so I do like to have, see, I kind of fancy that as a bit of a fold out. I do quite like to have, to cut some pages or fold some pages directly in half, but I also like to do slightly more interesting things with them. So they're not all going to be even, so that page you'll come across to it like that, and then there'll be a bit that comes out like so. So we'll just see how we get on. And double-sided paper is great. Another thing I like to do is if you fold it up like this, we're going to end up with loads of pages that are different sizes, but that's all good. Another thing I like to do is that. So this is probably going to just take a wee minute while I work out. Basically what I tend to do is go through my papers, fold some directly in half, fold some a little bit sort of like off centre, and then I would gradually kind of fold them all in. See, I don't like those two together, but then this is when I would get lots, so I'm going to fold lots of bits of paper like that and have some smaller ones as well. See, again, I think that would make a nice, because that's quite a statement piece. I would maybe do that have that as a fold out, and then have that like so. So as you can see, I'm going to end up with bits that are shorter, bits that are wider, bits that, you know, it's going to look a bit random. But this stage is, I don't know, it's just a bit faffy. So what I'm going to do is I'll pop you on fast forward while I'm folding and sorting the book into the way I like it, and then we will come back together as I'm sort of stitching it together and decorating it, because that's just a bit more interesting to watch. so as you can see, there's quite a lot of faffing going on there. I think I have this book how I would like it. I've got far too many sheets of paper, that is the issue. So I think we've got this so that I quite like it. I'm just flicking through to make sure that I'm happy. But yeah, that all seems to be sitting quite nice. I don't know whether that's getting a bit busy there for me. Let's take this one out. So we've got that, and then we end on a large centre page. So we've got that, which is kind of working for me. What I may do is just trim some of these edges so that it fits in, and I've got that one, which I could either have separate or I could somehow glue to the back so that you've kind of got a journal within a journal. I don't know. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, on these bigger pages, trim down the edges of these a little bit so that it's not bigger than the actual cover. So I went to get my journaling kit out, and the needle that I normally use is not there, but I managed to find this bad boy in my sewing kit, so let's hope that that works. Right, I also don't have my nice soft mat anywhere near me because you know that would be far too sensible. So make sure soft mat, have some nice popping action going on as well. I've still got plenty of papers left, but to be honest, I'm not quite sure where I'm going with them, so we'll just have to, I kind of want to smash the whole paper pad because Dawn will rock that, and I know she will, but I've got so much. But anyway, we'll see what we manage to do. Right, so I'm gonna pop that right through it like so. Yep, we've gone all the way through and we're still on the spine. As you can see, I take measuring very seriously. Just eyeballing this and hoping for the best. Right, so we will do that. And then let's get that out. So 3 holes and we're all good to go. Now, I did watch our Emma do a journal on a Facebook Live, and I really must say I've just lost that needle that I've just shown you. So I found my needle. It was just in the packaging, and I've got a bit of wax thread, probably enough to do this book, but I probably don't have enough to do the next book. I will try. I've got plenty of embroidery floss, and apparently you can just rub that against a candle, so we can give that a try and see if that works. So I'm just feeding this through all of those holes that I made the first time. Now I'll have to, our Emma did a Facebook Live, Emma Blake, and she showed a knot that you can do to get it particularly tight, which I find incredibly useful. Not useful enough to remember, so I will have to watch that back sometime and try and learn that technique too. So I've gone out in through the centre, back out the outside in here, and then I'm going to go back in. Now this is why I like the wax thread, because when you're knotting it at the end, you've got that give to get a really tight knot. So we'll see how we get on with just normal floss in a moment. So we've got all of that tied together. Apparently as well, oh, I could try that. Apparently, because I might have some of that, you can use dental floss. I may have some in the bathroom. Who knows? It's not something I do regularly. Does everyone floss their teeth regularly? It's not something I do, to be honest. I know we should, but... Right, so I am just going to tie that once. I'm going to hold that quite tight, and then we'll do that again. And as I said, with this being wax, I can just, you've got that movement, even if the knot sort of ties itself slightly above where you wanted it to, you've got that movement that you can really get in and do it. So we've got that, that's all nice and neat and tight. So that's one journal, and base of that done. Right, so I'm going to find, let's see how we get on with embossing thread in a minute. Okay, and let's see how we get on with that. So I couldn't actually find a candle. I have a Scentsy here, so I'm thinking, because it comes in cubes, if I can put these cubes out here. Where there's a bit, plus my journal will smell divine, so I'm going to try and pull that through a few times and let it pick up the wax. Oh, that smells so good. One of my favourite ones, lemon sorbet. It's funny, when I'm thinking of my studio, I'm already thinking about, oh, I could treat myself to a new Scentsy warmer. The other thing I fancy, do you know what might make it easier if I wasn't trying to hold that? What if I put it back in? Like tips and techniques, eh? Tips and techniques. Right, I'm going to pull that through. Oh, that's good. I can feel that, yeah. And the wax, I can actually feel the wax totally coming off that because I've got lots of pressure on it. Right, there we go. That's that wax. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you had smell-o-vision. Right. And we'll see how we get on with that. Yeah, I've often, I've kept thinking, because you know, quite often you end up, when you change your Scentsy waxes, it seems a complete shame. And there's still a tiny bit of scent to it, not enough to thingy a room, but there's still a little bit of scent. And I keep wondering about whether I could warm it down, because obviously they're warmers as opposed to burners, the Scentsy ones. And I keep wondering whether I could kind of warm it down and you know, stir some mica powders and stuff in it and then use them as a wax seal. So it's one of those things that I've contemplated doing for a while but never got around to doing it. So I'm going to do this again. So we'll put one up here, one halfway in there. There we go, and then I'll put one halfway here and one in the centre. And this is my little extra book that I think I'm going to stick on the book because I just think that's a bit different. It's not something I've ever really done before. Right, so let's try our thread that has been waxed with Scentsy wax. Oh, it smells so good. Wish I could actually get you to smell how good this smells. Okay, so I'm going to do the same, going up the centre, down the centre, and along, and then I'm going to go back down. And then we've still got loads of papers left over, so quite what I'm going to do I don't know, but we will see. Right, I'm putting that like so. I'm very distracted by how good this smells. Okay, and putting that down there like so. Okay, and then I'm going to just give myself slightly less thread to be working with, so and let's move this as well. It's not overly easy. Right, now I'm going to have to double check what Dawn said. I think, because normally I put tip-ins and stuff with washi, but I have a feeling that washi's not on the list. I think it's 2 inks of your choice, a black pen and a circle punch, string and staples. So we will have to contemplate. Now it's tying that knot there like so. It has worked and I do have a bit of movement, but it's not quite as much as the proper wax thread, but you know, it works. And quite often when it comes to crafting we just need to use what we have, don't we? Right, so I now have this little extra bit that goes like so. And I think we probably need to put some sort of fastening there, so we'll work that out. But I'm thinking that it would be quite cool on the back of here. So I am going to get some of this red tape because I know this stuff is mean. This does a good adhesion, so I'm going to put some of this down and some of the glue down. And then I'm also just to double doubly make sure. I'm going to put a big wad of white glue on this as well. Tell you, this is one way of stash busting your papers, making journals or mini books and stuff like that. It does really help to move things along a bit. Right, now I'm going to have to be careful with this because once that red tape gets anywhere near it, it's going to be stoked. There we go. So now I have my journal like that. So we've got this, and then we've got a little pocket there. So I've got some nice little bits and pieces. Now I'm going to have to work out how to put extra tip-ins and things without my beloved washi. I'm liking, this is a good suggestion, Dawn. I'm liking the colours of this journal. I can see me really enjoying journaling in this journal. Okay, so that's how it's looking like that. I've got all these extra little twiddly bits. So, and then that's the back page, and then on the back of the journal we've kind of got a mini journal again, which I think is just a bit different. Why not? So I might have to find some sort of thing to sort that. I could do with magnets or something, but we'll see. Right, now I still have lots and lots and lots of papers left. So we still have all of these papers left. So let's see what we can. This page is a bit unstable now because of the thing. So I'm going to give it a big flamingo pocket, I think, just because I can. So let's just trim this down a little bit. I love this flamingo, so I do want him to be a feature. I'm not even going to cut a, what do you call it? I'm not even going to cut a circle in the top to make it more easier to put things in and out, because I don't want to lose my flamingo's head. So I'm just going to put glue around the three edges, and that will work as a little pocket there, which I think is quite good because it's just going to strengthen this page as well, because we've got an extra layer on it, as soon as it's holding. That's just flimsy paper and it's holding a whole extra book. So that is quite actually where I have scored this. I am just going to chop it. So because I'm thinking having something that almost like folds out like that could be quite fun. So I'm just going to fold that there so we've got something to stick it on with. I'll put it this side actually. So we have that. I would prefer a different pattern on that though. So what have we got? What have we got that I can just stick down to make that a bit more interesting? Quite like the florals. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just grab some glue . Pop a load of that down, and then I'm going to grab another piece of paper, this piece of paper here, and just adhere that to that, and then I'm just going to grab my bone folder and just, almost like you're wallpapering, so it's helping to spread the glue. Any excess will come out the side, and also it just gets rid of the air bubbles as well, so that you get a nice smooth finish. And with your higher GSMs, this is what the professional people do. Basically it's just a pile of paper that's squished and glued together under high pressure. So it's just that we're doing it in a slightly more rustic fashion. Okay, so I'm going to so. That'll go like that, and then I want to create another bit like that. So again, just follow the cut lines of what I've already got. So I'm just going to cut along the edge of the one that I've already made, and then I know it's the right size. So and like so. Right, and then I'm going to glue that to that part. This is not something that I do a lot of, so I'm basically making this up as I go along because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm thinking that this creates a bit that does that. Now, if I get the rest of that paper to have, so I'm just going to cut this one. So I've chopped that and popped a fold line on it, and I'm going to just pop some glue on that side and then stick that here like so. Right, cool. And then what I'll do again is take this bit and just straighten that off a little minute. I've straightened that off. I'm just going to put a circle punch in that as well, and then I will glue this down. I'll actually put the glue on this side because I have not cut this to size as such, so I'm sort of eyeballing it, but I'll cut it down after. So if we put that like so, and then let's grab my scissors. There we go. I'm trying to find the ones I like. Okay, and let's just cut this down like so. I can just hear my daughter calling my husband, and there's no way he's going to hear her because he's busy watching the telly box. So I'm probably just going to have to knit through a second, but what I'm thinking is if I stick that down now, we've got some sort of, actually I might put a semicircle there as well. So let's, as soon as we have a circle punch in it, that out. Okay, and now we have that, which will open up and then open up. Actually, we could put another pocket there as well. Let's go to town. Why not? I'm going to have to clear out my desk a little bit because I'm wondering how you, the viewer, are managing to watch all of this because the desk is looking rather busy. So let's just stick that down there. I've deliberately cut it a little bit smaller because I kind of wanted the pocket framed. So now we have this tab that opens, we've got a pocket here, and this opens and we've got a pocket there, and then we've got a central bit to do something with. Now we could have a banner as well, couldn't we, if we did something like, so if I cut this in half, I'm trying to work this out, It's a bit uneven. That's obviously not been cut very straight. Let's get a strip of paper that's a bit straighter. I'm going to clear this as well so that it's not looking, I'm trying to get it so it's not looking too busy. So I'll cut those bits there. And if I just, so let's just glue these bits at the back so that we have them down. Like so. And then I'll do the same over here with this one. Hopefully they meet quite nicely. That's probably best to do that, make sure it meets quite good. Right, so let's get those bits stuck down. And now that I've got them, I'm going to put glue all over all of this. Plenty of wet glue. Like so. And then we'll pop that down there like that. I'm just going to hold that to let it stick a little bit. So now, if I got that the right way, so now we've got that opens like that. Nope, stuck that the wrong way around. Ah. Okay, let's just try and prise that off. I'm just ripping the paper a bit underneath, but considering we're just going to stick it straight back down again, I think we're good to go. Let's get some more glue on. One of those things that you should check first. Right, I'm trying to match it up so it matches in that design. Right, and then we have this and this, which we will get a little catch for, maybe with a little circle. And then that opens like that, we've got that, and then that, which I think is quite cute. Okay, so we've done that. I'm going to pause the camera and get a cup of tea and then work out a little bit what we're going to do next. Another thing that we could do is some of the spare tags that we've got in the kit, we'll just pop those into the pockets. So let's just, so we have these little die cuts in the kit, and I'm just going to use those as closures, seeing as I don't have magnets on the list Dawn gave me. I'm looking at this kit thinking I don't quite know how I'm going to stash bust it as well as I should, because I also know that for me these journals tend to be art journals, so I don't want it so that I can't work in it either. Right, so I've glued that down there, and then that now means that that will just tuck in there like so. I'll just let that dry for just now. And then I have another one here, which will sort of do the same thing there. So let's just neaten this up, take those pips off. What I will do is I'll pop out all the die cut elements, and we can maybe look at popping those throughout the book, and then I'll see what's left and see what we can do. But again, I'm thinking that if we just stick glue down this half there and pop that, I kind of still want to be able to read the happy, so I'll pop that there, and then that gives us a little fold just for it to hold. So we'll pop that like so. Right. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I have popped out all the die cuts. What I'm thinking that I'm going to do is I'm going to find one of these pages that had a pocket like this in here, because what I'm thinking is some of these pockets I could just actually use to hold some of these elements in, because what it means is when I come to do some art journaling in here, it's almost like I've got a bit box to hand with exactly what I need in it, with what's going to match my project. So I'll just pop the stickers in there, and I'll probably do the same with the tags and the leftover bits. I might make a wee envelope for them to go in that attaches to the journal. But for just now, I'm probably just going to decorate the front of the journal. And see how we get on. I'm not even going to overthink it too much. I'm just going to get it down and see what happens. And then, as I said, because I tend to use these junk journals for art journaling in, so I know I will revisit it at some point and journal in it. Actually, one of the last journals that I made with Dawn and Julia Creates, it's almost completed, because I do actually art journal in it quite a lot. So I know I will come back to it when I do my various journal challenges and things like that. I know I will come back to it, but as I said, at least then, if I've got pockets with these elements in it, I'm kind of good to go. I've got something that I know is going to coordinate really well. So I know that I'm all ready and sorted. So I don't think that's cheating, you know, putting it all in an envelope and sticking it's a substantial journal already, and I've not even started arting in it, but it already feels quite fat. So that should be fun. We'll see how that goes. It'll probably need to be a journal of fairly flat pages, because I don't think we're going to take much. Oh look, that's pretty. Right, I don't want to lose my smile though, but it's needing something. I like that actually, and it's really simple, and I'm going to stick with it. I don't think it needs to be more complicated than it is there. So let's just stick that down like so. It's just that I was just needing to hide that gap so that there wasn't a gap between the tags and the owl's head. And I'll put that there, and I like that. I like it a lot. Now we've got these strips of sentiments. I'm going to see what that looks like on the front. You can see how fat that is. This is going to need some form of binding or ribbon or something just to sort of hold it all up together. Right, just getting extra bits of glue on those. Okay, like I've got these, and I'm just wondering if one of those, yeah, maybe down there, because it matches the sentiment as well. Just going to take those little notches off, like so, and we'll have that down there. Stick that down here. Yeah, I think it's going to need, it's not on the list I don't think, string is. I don't know if I've got any string. I'll have a look. I think it's going to need something to hold it together, because all, as I said already, it's just because I've put so much in it. I've got all these extra bits going on, and then I've got this extra bit at the back that's already sitting like that. That's okay. And I want another black. Oh, I quite like it there actually. Right. And then, so I've used the circle button. I've not got any inks out yet, but I think it's because I'm not actually, I'm sort of building the journal as opposed to decorating the journal. Do I need to use inks? Will I be put on the naughty step because I've not used an ink? No, I'm going to go without actually. Right, so the other thing I want to do now then is just to make chop, let's see, so if I chop this down, chop it down enough so it fits inside there. I actually drew around the sellotape and cut that out because the circle punches that I had weren't going to be big enough. So now I'm going to bring in my ink, so I have used an ink. Just because I find when I have cut something myself that the edges are always a bit rough. And the easiest way to do, oh, frog in my throat. The easiest way to disguise that is just with a little bit of inking. So I'm going to ink around the edges of that, and I think I'm actually going to decorate this pocket up as well. So I'm going to just grab some glue and just glue up the sides there, and we'll fold that down and give that time to stick together, and then I'm going to decorate it a little bit because I can. So I'll pop some little bits and pieces just on this. Quite like the button. I feel like I just need a. That's quite nice. Right, so we'll pop that down. I'm just going to take the little notchy things off, and then what I'm going to do is just fill this pocket with a load of the die cuts. And let's see how many of these we need to make. If I need to make more, I will just go off camera and do them, because I already have a feeling that this video is going to be quite long and I feel all I've done is faff. So I'll get that stuck down. And then that one there. And I think this is one where I will actually get my black pen out. I noticed Dawn was kind and gave me a black pen. I'm looking forward to seeing what she's done. She probably knows what she's doing. I'm just making it up as I go along. Let's see how much we have to edit, how much we have to cut out and speed up, so that it's not overly awful for you. Right, let's, it's not my usual black pen, but it'll do. I'll just give this a bit of doodling. It doesn't actually even work. I've got some amazing pens as well. And do you know what, it's not going to take me that much effort to get them. Let's just grab a decent pen. Right, we'll go for a micron one, I think. Micron 2. Okay. These are my Jane Davenport ones, my new purchase. I'm very happy. It's because I've got one of her pens that goes over everything, and it's great, but I always found it a bit thick for some of the work that I did. So I bought this, and I've got like really thick ones and really fine ones and a little bit of everything. So it's all fabulous. Right, so now I've got that, I'm thinking that I'm just going to grab as many as I can without it breaking what we've got, because obviously there's no point in breaking this apart. But let's just open this. I'm not going to do tags because they can actually go in some of the other pockets quite easily. But I'm thinking like these sort of things. So let's just pop a load of those in. See what we get away with stuffing in there. So I'll just keep going with that. Okay, so I am all done. And I have cheated. Shh, don't tell Dawn. It depends on how you view about it. I mean, like making a junk journal, using your entire kit. I've used my entire kit. I've made a junk journal. It's a bit like Dawn. You know, 1 layer card, 3 layers. What can I say? So here is the journal that you saw me make. And it's all ready to use. And as I said, I tend to art in my junk journals. So, like, I'm kind of at the stage where I'm not really wanting to add more belly bands and flip outs. I've done a few, but that's not how I use these books. I use these books to get painterly in and to art journal in, and so I want to leave it like that. I'm very impressed with my little pocket. It has actually fit all of those die cuts in. And then what I've done is all the papers I've not used, I've tied up in a pretty ribbon in lieu of string. There was string on the list and I genuinely don't have any string. I've looked around and I don't have any string. So because it's stash busting, I've thingied it up in a ribbon. So what I'm thinking is, this is me used up the entire kit. That is everything now. So with the kit, I've created a journal. I've got embellishments for when I work in my journal. and I've got like a stash busting kit of papers and bits and bobs to use when I'm journaling in my journal. So what I will do is I will keep all of this together as a little package, okay, like so. And then when I get this book out to journal, I will also get all of this out and I will gradually use it up as I'm journaling. I think that works. I think that works, and in doing it that way I have genuinely used every little scrap and I've stash busted a kit. So I'm going with it. I am saying that I filled the brief. What do we think? Anyway, if you want to see how to really use up your stash, Dawn is an absolute expert of it, so I'm just faffing about on my desk now. Let's, yeah. If you want to see how to really do it, go and check Dawn, because she will have rocked it and she'll have used up her entire kit and she'll have made something amazing and there won't be a scrap left. But yeah, I'm quite impressed. I'm quite impressed, to be honest, even just to have that tiny bit there. I did think about making a second journal with it, but the paper's quite small and it would be a diddy little journal, which might be quite cute, and I still might. But I just thought, you know, as I'm working on a page that's like here, it means I can do some ripping and tearing of this paper and collage with it and fill it up. So then it genuinely will all go in the one journal. But as I said, because of how I journal, that's going to take time. It's not going to, I can't fill an entire journal in one night. I've probably taken long enough making it. Anywho, I'm definitely going. I'm definitely saying goodbye. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing. And I'll be back again very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.